Ladies, do you want to move up a bit? You guys want to move up a bit so whoever comes in late can come in behind you and not sit right in front of you? It's okay. Come on, Margie, in the front. Grab your seat so whoever comes in late.
Marcus spot in class too, right? The front left. Yes, your spot in class.
Good morning. How are you today? How's everyone today? Good. Well, we would like to welcome you. For those of you who don't know, my name is Shelley Wilson. I am one of the co-founders as well as the vice president and board chair. And I have the honor of welcoming you today. So first, good morning. And welcome to our first annual Women's Empowerment Seminar. So today's event is just for us to sit down and talk about what it's like to be a woman leader, our experiences, and we want this to be a dialogue. So it's not just us up here talking at you, but having a conversation. The goal is to inspire, to motivate, and to challenge us to do better. Make sense?
Yes.
But you know me, before we dive into today's seminar, I wanted to start with something fun, right? Because we don't have to start with a serious seminar because we're talking about empowerment. So let's talk about women leaders. Let's see what you know. This is open to everyone about women leaders. First question, and of course it's trivia. I want you to guess the job of this person. Before becoming a global media powerhouse, which job did this future billionaire have as a teenager? Here's a hint. She's also the first self-made Black billionaire. Who's the person? She was millionaire. Millionaire. Oprah. Correct. Oprah Winfrey. Now, what job did she have? Was she a grocery store cashier, a radio newsreader, or a flight attendant? Radio. Correct. Cree Summer, one of the members of A Different World, right? She, as an actress, her music. What else does she do? She's a leader in her field in this particular category. She has over 700 characters. Voiceover, animated voices. 700. She's a leader in her field. You would think, Cree with the hat and, goofy. But yes, she's a leader in her field. Cree Summers from A Different World. What was her character in A Different World?
I got it. She was Susie Carmichael.
Okay, all right. All right, well, we'll think about it. All right, another famous quote. Which civil rights icon once said, "You must never be fearful about what you are doing when it is right"? Close, no. She would never take a seat in the back. Rosa Parks. Now, Rosa Parks, we all know, was a leader. Didn't sit in the back.
It was Freddie.
Freddie, yes, correct. It was Freddie from A Different World. It's like, I'm done, I can move on now, right? So we know Rosa Parks, right? She was the one that started the movement. She got the attention. She got the boycott started. But who was the person that sat down first?
Gloria Colvin.
Yes. Now, why is it that she didn't get that same attention?
Because she was, she was pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't married.
Mm-hmm. And she was 15. She was 15, right? So we're going to talk about leaders today. It comes in all shapes, sizes, ages, and abilities. It's not about you taking the first step for the attention. It's about you having the courage to do what you know is right. So we're going to talk about that on this panel today. What are our experiences and what are your experiences? All right, and then I want to leave you with two more because I got a whole bunch. So I'm going to do two more. Who's the first Latina on the U.S. Supreme Court? And where did she come from? The Boogie Down. Yes. Who is the youngest woman ever elected to Congress? Michelle Obama. So, we talked about the range. I mean, I have a whole list, but I want to talk about the people in the room. So, I'm going to turn it over to Pascal in a second, but I just want you to know that the women we just talked about were leaders, activists, and innovators. They didn't all start out powerful. Many of them started out with ideas, dreams, and sometimes with people telling them what they couldn't do, right? We've experienced that. But because they pushed boundaries, they spoke up, they took risks, and because they did, they challenged the world in ways big and small. Today is about tapping into that same energy. Every woman in this room has influence, a voice, and the ability to lead, whether that's in your community, your family, your workspace, or in spaces that haven't even been created yet. So today, we're not just here to talk about empowerment, we're here to claim it. Make sense? Makes sense. All right, let's get started.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us for this Women's Leadership Empowerment Dialogue. So today we are celebrating the power, resilience, and leadership of women who continue to inspire change in our communities. Leadership takes many forms. It can be in the workplace, in our families, in our communities, and even in a quiet way of uplifting others. Today we have an incredible group of women. Give it to you. They are leaders in their own right. Through this conversation, we hope to share stories, lessons, and inspiration that will empower everyone in this room. Right? So we're going to start with introduction. So I'm going to go first. My name is Pascal here. I am the president, co-founder of Orisha Wholeness. I'm also a physical therapist. I hold a bachelor's degree in science, associate degree in science, master's degree in physical therapy, and a doctor's degree in physical therapy. I'm also the driver specialist at the VA, and I cover all 5 boroughs in Long Island. So a driver specialist is someone who teaches veterans how to go back to driving if they have a disability. So it's a tough job. I volunteer. I've been volunteering at the VA teaching fitness and wellness. I volunteer to shape up New York City teaching fitness and wellness. So I have been doing fitness and wellness for a long time. And I'm also a Zumba certified, even though I'm not a Zen member.
She won't pay.
I will not pay. So I instead I do my classes for the veterans. So I will pass it over to our panel. We'll start with Pamela.
Okay, I am Pamela Wilkerson. I am a nurse. I am a mother. I am a teacher. Okay, I've been a nurse for over 30 years. I have my bachelor's degree in nursing. I actually teach courses for CNAs and home health aides. I am also the health educator for Orisha, the wellness here, okay, which we meet every 3rd Saturday of the month. And I teach a new subject or a new disease management, how to manage certain diseases. Leader, I think first of all, knowledge is power. Okay? The more you know, okay, the more marketable you are, and it's very important for us to know about our health. Okay? And so, of course, if we know better, we should do better.
Thank you, Anne.
Hi again. So I'm Shelley. Most of you know me as a co-founder and vice president and board chair of Orisha Wholeness. I've been doing this for about 5 years now. But my background also includes, I have a bachelor's degree in secondary education with a French concentrate, because I was supposed to be a French teacher. See how that happened? My master's degree is in nonprofit management. I also have
30 years of experience managing youth development organizations, doing everything from direct service, elementary school, middle school, high school, running after-school programs, summer programs, and then I transitioned to, instead of doing direct service, managing those programs. And I've managed programs in New York City, managed programs in New Jersey. I've also been a professional development. I have a small business, which is why you see me doing a lot of professional development, the trainer, the games. I also do that professionally. In addition to all of that other stuff, I also do fitness. So I'm a fitness instructor. I teach Zumba. I'm a Zen. I teach water aerobics, cycling, a whole cohort of different things. And in addition to the fitness, I always say that I wanted to get paid for what I do. And I enjoy the fitness aspect, and I inspire people to do that as well. I'm an avid biker. Those of you know me, I bike with Black Girls to Bike. I'm also a marathoner, so I've run countless races. So in my free time, I try to sleep. Otherwise, I'm doing a little bit of all that.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Kathleen Walker Pickney. Actually, I'm the Commissioner of Recreation in the City of Mount Vernon. I've been there for about 3.5 years. I'm originally from the Bronx. I'm a Bronx girl. But I also have to claim Mount Vernon because I've been up there 38 years. Now I'm 21, but things happen. But I went to a historical black college in Raleigh, North Carolina, where I graduated from. I started as a secretary with New York City Parks. I worked here for 42 years. Actually, before I retired in 2022, I ran this particular center. That's how I met these wonderful ladies. And now I grabbed them up to Mount Vernon. But I have been vice president of unions. I've been, like I said, a secretary, and I worked my way up to commissioner. I retired for 2 days and became a commissioner.
Seriously.
It was 2 days. Yeah, the mayor asked me. But I do a lot of cultural events. I do educational events. I am in the NAACP, a lifetime member. I'm a lifetime member of the National Council of Negro Women. I've been in Who's Who in American Women, the Distinguished of Leadership in America. All type of accolades that's not necessary. But a lot of the things that I do because it's my passion. I do it because I love to do it. Otherwise, I would not have to do it because technically I would be retired, right? But I like the community. I love community events. And I always say, if you can change something and somebody once a day, once a week, if you can make one difference, you did something to help people. And that's my goal, and that's what I continue to do, to try to make a difference in the world.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Good morning. So I first want to say that it's an absolute pleasure to be part of this conversation today. My name is Jessica Toro, and I am also born and raised in the Bronx. I was born right there in Union Hospital on 188th Street at T-Bow, and I grew up by Grand Concourse, so this is my neighborhood, right? And I recently just moved to Westchester, so I'm no longer a Bronx girl, but always a Bronx girl at heart. And currently, I am the director of community engagement for a nonprofit here in the Bronx. And I recently was promoted to that position, literally last week. But prior to that, I was assistant director of community engagement, and I love the work that I do because in that field, I'm able to connect with great organizations such as Orisha Wholeness, right, and others in the community that we serve, and make sure that I bring resources and information back to the community and build those important partnerships that are needed for us to make a difference in the communities that we serve, right? Another thing that I do, I am an entrepreneur. I have my own business as a Mary Kay beauty consultant. So I use that platform to inspire women, to help them build self-confidence, and I love that I'm able to empower women, empower people in the work that I do in both the nonprofit sector and also in my entrepreneurship. I help women even develop their own entrepreneurship journeys, right, with business opportunities. So just inspiring lives, changing lives in that way, and that's what I think leadership is service, right? It's starting with that. Like, I never would have thought I would be the director of community engagement in a nonprofit because I just didn't, but I did have a passion to help, to just want to make a change wherever I'm at and be the light, right, wherever I'm at. And I think that's important, and being a leader is remembering that that's what it's about. Like, wherever you are, despite of your title, you can make a difference, you can show up, you can advocate, and that does not mean that you have to have the title to do that. I'm just blessed to have them.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sheila. I just want to say that I am in awe of these ladies. All that they have accomplished in their life, they're inspiration to me. Even though I'm here, I'm so empowered by hearing their stories. My name is Sheila. I'm also born and raised in the Bronx, and just like Jessica, I now live in Westchester, but forever a Bronx girl. This is my home. You guys are my people, and that's how I feel. I'm a mother, a grandmother, a wife. I am employed as a senior court reporter at Bronx Supreme Court. I've been employed with the Office of Court Administration now for 26 years. I started as a young girl, and here I am still working there. I enjoy my job, which basically entails taking down the record in the courtroom. I work with a lot of attorneys, tons of judges, a lot of not-for-profit legal organizations that deal with litigants. I enjoy what I do every year. It has been every day. It's been 26 years, and I still love it. I am the vice president of the Association of Supreme and Surrogate Court Reporters, which keeps me extremely busy, but I love that too, because I love advocating for people and helping people. And of course, my recent job, I've become one of the officers of Orisha. I'm the secretary of the leadership team. Which also keeps me extremely busy, but I love every minute of it, and it's because of Orisha that I've met everyone in this room, and that has been worth more than money could have ever paid me to have this job. It has really been a blessing, and I enjoy it. What else can I say? That's basically it. I don't have any master's degrees. I do have an associate's degree in business management, which has gotten me where I am, and I'm proud of that. I went to public school my whole life here in the Bronx. I'm proud of that because I think I turned out pretty well, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm just happy to be here, and thank you guys for coming.
Okay, following all this will occur. Hello, everybody. I'm Ashley Thompson. I'm the board vice chair of Orisha. So I'm basically Shelley's assistant, or not assistant, but assistant and whatever needs to be done. Aside from that, I have a bachelor's of science in fashion design and a minor in business. So during the day, I design handbags and belts, and then at nighttime, I go teach Zumba classes. So growing up, I'm originally from New Hampshire. I was born and raised there. My mom was very involved with church, and she was very involved in the community. She worked in the recreation department. So that's where I got exposed to community service work. And honestly, I like to have fun, and she always made community service look very fun. So I jumped into a both feet. I got involved with Girl Scouts, I got involved with my church, and then I also had dreams one day wanting to be a ballerina when I was 5. And that didn't happen, but I love to dance as well, so that's where it brought me to teaching Zumba. And since I also love fashion, I love dance, I was involved in the community. I eventually led into competing in pageants when I was in high school. And in 2006, I was Miss New Hampshire National Teenager. It was always full circle for me, and I just love to have fun, and I like working with like-minded people couldn't become a ballerina. I became a Zumba instructor instead, and I had way more fun doing that. So, and I love bringing that to Orisha. I was one of the first instructors that was recruited to Orisha, and I'm honored and blessed that I was able to meet all these people and all these women special.
All right, so the way this is gonna go down. So we'll be asking the panelists some questions. We will also be interacting with the audience. So ladies, I will ask you to keep your answers for 60 seconds or less, just so we can give everybody a chance to speak. Okay? First question. How do you lead with confidence when you're walking through a space where you get underestimated?
Smile.
I think when you walk into the room, you have to, first of all, before you even get to the room, you have to walk in looking like you know what you're speaking about. Because before you even open your mouth, people will judge you by the way you look.
Yes.
And if you don't look like you mean business, they have already tuned you out.
So I think it's important to own any space you walk into, and I know that that's easier said than done. It could be intimidating in some spaces, but I just truly believe in always being self-aware, right? Like believing in what you believe in and owning that. Speaking up when you have to, and that again, in whatever space you in, and that's how you show confidence, when you just in the room, making your presence known, speaking up when you need to, advocating when you need to, and making sure that you feel comfortable in that space, however it fits.
How do you live with confidence when you walk into a space where you get underestimated?
Yeah, I think that one of the first things that the mayor calls me a sniper, not because I have a gun, which that's another story. It is legal, but I don't have it. But, yeah, so my thing is that, you know, I like to observe the room. And when I walk into the room, it's important to observe where you are, your surroundings, so that you can feel the confidence. You gotta bring it into yourself. You walk into a moment, you're not aware of where you are, who's around you. That already is gonna make you, you know, a little less confident. So my first thing is to kind of scope out the room. Once I scope out the room, then I have to present myself in a way that I'm not gonna be over the top, but just come in and be real, be who you are, and be passionate when you walk in. You don't have to walk in with some kind of chip on your shoulder, who you are, your title. Just walk in and be you, and be as pleasant and as happy as possible. Smile and let people understand. I'm here, and I'm gonna do what I have to do, but if it has to go that way where you have to present yourself, then just stand firm to what you gotta say and what you need to do.
Yeah.
For me, it's always about if I'm going into a space, whether it's a meeting, whether it's knowing a group of people, is to kind of be prepared, to know what I'm going into ahead of time, so that I'm able to present information and to talk to people about whatever the topic is. If I'm going to a conference about youth development, kind of know what's going on in the field. If I'm going to a meeting at the community board, like what are some issues in the community that we really should talk about? So for me, I kind of like to prepare and then prove people wrong. And I know we have 60 seconds. But I will never forget this. My middle school teacher at parent-teacher conference told my mother that I would not be successful in high school because I'm an introvert and because I'm soft-spoken. So I don't go back and go, that I'm a Zumba instructor, that I'm presenting on this panel, or that I'm known for giving presentations and holding a room. So it's letting people underestimate you, but then proving them wrong because you know who you are and you know what you're capable of. And you show that when you need to. And that's where the preparation comes into play.
For me, I mean, pretty much they've said a lot. Okay, you walk in and you show confidence and you be professional
In my field. Okay, a lot of times they look at males, doctors, men in the medical field, and they kind of downplay women. But no, I don't let them downplay me, okay? Because, just as Shelley says, I prepare myself. I'm always trying to stay abreast with what's going on in the medical field. And so I walk with confidence, okay? And I know what I'm speaking about when I speak about it. And I think just looking at that, and even with Ashley saying a smile draws people in too. Okay? And then they, they say, oh, she knows what she's speaking about, And I enjoy what I'm doing, they're passionate about it. Over 30 years, very passionate about it. And I always feel though that what I have learned, I need to instill it back in others, okay, and not hold it back. So walking upright and just showing that you can do this. I had the same experience, like Shelley just said, my dean of nursing at Hostos College. I actually graduated from Hostos and City College in New York. And she said, you will never be a nurse. As well as another, one of my peers, she said, you're too nice. You will never be a nurse. And I was like, what? Because I feel that too, being nice. And said, okay, if I'm nice, it will draw people to me. And then I will give them what I have.
Thank you, Pam.
And I want to add one more thing. My experience, I feel like as long as I walk in there knowing that I did my absolute best, then that's all I can do, nothing less, nothing more. And especially like in my field, when you're younger, people tend to underestimate you, thinking you don't know any better. And I like the rest of them said, I just prove them wrong. And I cross my T's and dot my I's, and I always have like a backstory with everything. So, how do you do this? Oh, you do A, B, C, D, and they're all shocked that I know. And I'm like, oh yeah, I make sure I present it and I give a definition or explanation of where I learned it from. So, and just put my best foot forward.
Now, for the audience, how many women here have ever doubted their leadership ability? How many women have ever doubted their leadership ability? Okay. How about Pam? Okay.
That's fine too.
Okay. So, if you didn't put your hands up, does that mean you never doubted your leadership ability?
We can't hear you.
I was getting ready to say that because you're going down the voice.
Yes.
I'm sorry. So the question is, how many women here have ever doubted their leadership ability? Whether or not you're a leader?
The times,
Yeah, times.
yeah, the times,
Yeah, times, of course.
Okay. Leadership is not about never having that. It's about moving forward, even without it. Right? I don't think there's anyone who's like so confident about everything that they can have. All right, next question.
Wait, can I answer that? And why is that a good thing? To doubt yourself.
Because it can also prepare you to do better. Of course, if you're doubting yourself, you're always striving for better.
Yes.
Doing yourself.
Right. It's an internal struggle, right? It's an internal challenge. So it makes you want to be better for you, not because someone else told you. It's something that you feel that you need to overcome. Right?
Somebody in the back.
Oh, it's in the book.
I also think there's different levels of doubting yourself. So I think some people didn't raise their hands because it wasn't like directly like, oh, you can't do it. But you have certain times and there's a little bit of that, and so I think all of us probably have, so I could raise my hands to that, but not like discreetly, like, oh, I doubt you can do anything. I never really did that. So yeah, so I think that's, why some people may not have raised their hands.
Okay, thank you, Mama. Now, what are some challenges that you face as a woman in leadership and how do you overcome that? So for this one, I'm going to go first. So I'm a physical therapist and I see inpatients. and the doctor comes in, right? They completely disregard me and start talking to the patient like I'm not even there, right? So that happened a few times. So I have to stop what I'm doing so they can know what they're doing, and then I will start what I'm doing. And then I started thinking, your time is not more valuable than my time. What I'm doing is just as important as you. So what I started doing, when they come in, don't even say excuse me. When they come in and start talking, I just keep going what I'm doing, like they're not even talking, like they're not even. And eventually they get it. They're like, okay, I'll do that. So that was my challenge and my way to overcome that challenge. And the ones who like keep interrupting me, after the session, I had a word with them. Letting them know it's not disrespectful to the professional that I am and also the patients just coming into my session. Back to your ladies. What was the question again? So, what are some challenges you face as a woman in leadership and how do you overcome them? Let's start with you.
Oh, wow, did you see that? Oh. Okay, so for me, being a woman leader in nonprofit, especially in youth development, a lot of times that field is led by men, senior management, and women had the lesser positions. And then as I moved up, it was always me and then men, and sometimes me being a black woman, the only black woman. So one thing was always trying to make my voice heard, use my voice, use it in a way of strength, and also when I'm saying something, making sure I know what I'm saying. Two, a lot of times it's about, okay, just jump up and down and make yourself be seen. Sometimes you just do the job. You do what you need to do and you get it done and let the work speak for yourself. Yes. And then if you tried all of that, you've spoken to people who ignored you, then maybe that's not the place for you, and that's okay. Then you move on to the next place. So the way I've done it is I've made my voice heard, I've let the work speak for me, I've networked, and in some places we're great, and in some places we're, Shelley, this is not the place for you, because if you need to be successful, it's not going to be here.
That's so you know you don't have to answer every question.
I would like to say that the first thing is that as a woman of color, the challenge is even more.
Yes. Yes, it is.
It just, it just is. It's even more of a struggle. And I think that for me, one of the things I did was to try to make myself known by being involved with a lot of community events, a lot of things on the job. Right? So I became a shop steward, I became a labor management facilitator, I became a union delegate, I became a vice chairperson of one of the biggest locals, which was secretaries, because I felt like they wasn't getting a good deal. I've done all these type of things, march, walk, just to let people know that I'm here, we are here, and no matter how much you feel that I might not be that woman that you feel should be in leadership, I'm letting you know that I'm going to continue moving, I'm going to keep grooving, and I'm going to let you see that I'm going to be fighting not just for me, but for everybody. So I brought attention to myself by doing that and to try to let them understand that we're not going nowhere. And if it wasn't for us, none of y'all would be going.
I wanted to share a different perspective because I commend you ladies for your accolades, but one of the challenges I face is one being younger, right? I'm usually like the youngest in the leadership group, but also I don't have a degree. I went to college, but I don't have a degree, and for a long time I thought that was going to impede me from ever being in leadership. And although, you look at the positions and bachelor's required and master's required, and I was like, okay, that's not me. But I believed in showing up. I believed in creating my own path, right? I never was a follower since I was young. I was always a leader. I always had people following me, like my friends, and I noticed even from young how I was able to be an influence even, in my neighborhood, right? And with my friends. And so I I continue to be like that, and I continue to, even in whatever role I've been, just advocate and in the most professional way, because that Latina and that Bronx can always come out, right? And that's always also a challenge, because they're like, oh, hold on, you know, like you're a little too spicy, you're a little too outspoken, and so that's been a challenge for me as well. But I think it's just polishing yourself a little bit and knowing that, like, I have to be self-aware. Like, for me, it's very much so about being self-aware, creating my own path, but owning the space wherever I'm at with that confidence that I know I can make a difference. I know that my experience means something. I know that whatever I say would make a difference in somebody's life, or just even change, you know, their mind with something. So just knowing that has been a way that I overcome that challenge, and I feel like I've been given those opportunities because people have seen that in me as well.
I'll speak quickly on the point from my day job as well as in Zumba. For my day job in the fashion industry, it's predominantly women, and there's a small demographic of men. And I noticed they hold the men to a different caliber, and they don't expect as much from them, and they still get all the glory. And I'm the type of person I call spade a spade. I don't let people, I'm not a pushover. I'm a big into team player, being a team player, but not being taken advantage of. And in one of my past roles, I was a team player. They tried taking advantage of me. I didn't let that happen, but it's a catch-22. If you let them take advantage of you, you're overlooked. But if you stand up for yourself, you're difficult. And being a black woman, I was considered difficult. And the fact that my white counterparts noticed the difference because I wasn't putting up with it, I was considered difficult. And then when I put in my notice, they didn't care that I was leaving. And I said, okay, fine. They didn't care. I'm the type I move on. My white counterpart left a month after me. They offered her the promotion that I was supposed to get. And she told me. And ever since then, I still to this day, that same boss that I had has reached out to me 3 times trying to get me to come back and offering me more money. And I told her no repeatedly. So and then moving on to Zumba, a lot of times the men are favored, which, don't get me wrong, a Zumba instructor can come in any shape or form, and I'm the type I embrace every single Zumba class. A lot of times I come into classes where if they see that I'm young, they think I'm inexperienced and I don't know any better again. Or because I'm not Latina and I don't speak Spanish, they automatically think that, oh, I don't understand. Yes, Raphael, I've been there before, trust me. Yes, no, you'd be surprised. And I'm the type of person, when I have a challenge or people underestimate me, I'm internally competitive. And I'm the type of person, they got me in my head, I'm like, watch this. And I'm like, okay, so go ahead, don't challenge me. And I'm the type, still to this day, people, they come eventually, the ones that doubted me, they're always shocked. And I'm like, and I look at them, and I'm like, yeah, exactly. So I just do the best that I can, and I bring it as best as I can.
We do not underestimate you.
I got a new one for you.
All right, audience, is there anyone that has a challenge in how to get that time? You have 60 seconds. Anyone would like to share?
I was a legal secretary for 40 years. I'm retired now. But I was assigned once to work for a partner. And he literally said to me, I don't think you can do my work. I had been in this firm for 10 years when I finally went to work for him. And I said, well, why do you think I can't do your work? I mean, I can do everyone else's work. And he was like, I just don't think you can do my work. Well, his mother passed away. He was out for about a month. And he came back. I had his desk organized. I had everything organized. And he was shocked. He said, how did you do this? I mean, with attitude. How did you do this? That's my job. I've been doing this for years. But just showing him that I could do this is all that mattered. Because then he was like a totally different person after that. I was like the best person in the whole office after that. I had a problem later on. He handled it for me. No problems after that. But I had to show him that I could do the job. And most law firms are Jewish law firms. So they don't think that we, meaning us black, and especially all black women, can do anything.
Thank you. How many women have been over, no offense to you, George. How many women have been overlooked just because you're female? Show of hands.
No, they have open private conversations.
That's good to know.
That we know.
Yeah, that we
That's
I
enough.
think we don't know.
That's enough.
I just also wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Shelley and Pam's story touched me because I kind of went through a similar situation in high school and even growing up in school. You know, I had like went through a little depression and stuff like that. You know, I grew up in the projects and just family issues that I don't care to discuss. But I remember my teacher telling me like, you know, you're really not gonna amount to anything. I mean, it was terrible. I can't believe the teacher would say something, right? But almost like, I was the next day and, you know, nothing more, you know, just, and you know, same thing, like I wish I could go back to her and prove to her that I did do something with my life, that I wasn't this depressed kid that just didn't speak out and stuff like that. So, you know, it touched me what y'all said, because I went through something very similar, you know.
And look at you now.
Okay, so now our leader for our walk.
Yeah.
And you know, the way to pay that forward is to make sure that you don't do that to someone else.
Yeah.
But you don't see that happening to someone else. Like you build them up as opposed to tear them down. And if you hear someone tearing someone down, then you build them up. Because we could go back to those people like Mr. Meltz and say, hey, remember me? And they'll go, no.
Yeah.
So we've been carrying this for decades. So it's all about us internalizing that and using that power to push ourselves and our community forward. And use them as a stepping ladder to get there.
Yes, exactly.
Bring us to our next question. What advice would you give women who are afraid to use their voice?
Know your values, first of all. Everyone has values, and we are created for purposes here in life. Everyone has their different talents. So speaking to someone, I always say, you know, well, self-esteem is very important, first of all. Know who you are, believe in yourself. You are very special, as my shirt for health education says on the back. First, when you love yourself, and you need to love yourself, and you need to value yourself and know that you're capable of doing any and everything that you set your mind to. Okay? So you have to believe in yourself, first of all. And then from there, you go. You go out there. I mean, we have a lot of examples, you know, ancestors and, you know, people who have been in the limelight of black women that have done great things. Know that you were born to do great things. I mean, I just basically have to say that. Look at yourself, look around the world, even if you want to research how many great black women there are out here and what they've done, and know that you can do it, okay? No. Excuse me? Okay.
Yeah, I know, how you look back.
Excuse me, the website? The website, I don't have a website out right now, but I do have some today for sale.
Yes.
Okay, and I am an independent contractor. I do health fairs too. Okay, my company is called Longevity. Okay.
I like that.
All right, okay. What advice would you give women who are afraid to use their voice?
I would tell them that they deserve to be heard. Never feel like you don't deserve or you're not worthy to be heard. In every audience, you deserve to speak your voice and say what you have to say. And I was always told that no is a two-letter word. Don't be afraid of no. Don't be afraid of people accepting what you say. But you have to speak up. You have to have a voice, and you're not always going to be accepted by everyone, right? They're not going to always like what you say when you speak up. They may not like what you say, how you say it, or who you're speaking against, but you have a right to be heard. You know, everyone has different opinions. We have different abilities. Let people know that. You know, in every space, there is a room for a woman.
My advice would be, who cares what they think? Say it anyway. And I also say, the ones that usually succeed are the men, so what would they do? And try to put yourself in a man's position and just do what they do. Are they staying quiet? No. When they're inconvenienced, they make sure everybody and their mother knows that what they're thinking and what they want, and you should do the same.
I was gonna add, it's not always easy, right? We've given you a whole bunch of tips and tools, but I still struggle with it. And you know, all I do is talk. But there are certain spaces where I won't speak up. And it's something that we have to worry about because, oh, what are they gonna think? What if it's stupid? What if it's this? Guys don't care, other people don't care. They're like, not gonna use an example, but people will say stuff and it can be asinine, right? But we don't give ourselves the same permission to do that. So if you're in a space where you're uncomfortable, practice. Practice in front of the mirror speaking. Take some classes, Toastmasters. It's where you take a class that teaches you about public speaking and having conversations in classroom. It's free. If that's something that you're fearful of, practice doing it so that you can become better at it. Don't just go into a room and be quiet because you're afraid of speaking up.
And sometimes, even if you don't get the result that you want, still speak up. Personal example. I have a doctorate in physical therapy. I'm also a specialist. So at the VA system, that I'm eligible to a grade called a grade 13, right? Because I'm very outspoken. So I've been asking for my promotion for the past 8 years, and I get blocked every single time. Because I'm outspoken, I do my job, but I don't let people tell me how to do my job, right? Because a doctor would come to me and say, I want this patient, this, and I'm like, no, based on my professional recommendation, this patient is not. Right, so just being outspoken and being the professional that you are, you're gonna block in certain things. So sometimes you just have to like, okay, whatever, so I'll just do my job and then we can do it. So, just by being spoken, sometimes you get denied some stuff that you do. Audience, I'm going to give you a minute, right? I want you to turn to the person next to you and share one leadership quality that you would expect in a woman.
You would expect in a woman?
One leadership quality you would expect women to have. Turn to the person next to you and share that. What are some leadership qualities?
Leadership qualities, yes. Think
What are
about
some
leadership qualities.
qualities you would expect from a woman?
What that a strong leader should possess. A strong woman leader should possess.
I'm ready.
To piggyback on what she said over there, being prepared, and by being prepared meaning, if you're not sure of a topic, if you don't have that much knowledge of whatever meeting you're going into, research before you go. So if someone was to ask you a question, for example, like you're doing, we would be prepared with an answer.
Anybody else?
You want to teach me?
We spoke about patience and adaptability.
Yes. Anybody else? I know you were talking, I said.
Come on, Nikki, okay.
Educators, because we raise children. We are naturally teachers. Teachers to read, to write, and all educational skills, as well as
Nourishment. We're nourishers. We're the ones that just encourage them to just basic stuff. Stay clean. We as women, we take care of our kids. We're the ones that basically, not saying men don't, but we're the ones that teach them, get them off to school. We do all it most of the time.
Anybody else?
We had a few words, but I guess work is one.
Okay.
Not only knowing your own worth, but knowing what you do is worth it. So everything that you do is going to lead to something else. And you just, may not know what, but it's worth it. Every moment you spend.
Thank you. So at this time, I'd like to give the audience a chance if you have any questions for the community.
Can I just share something? So going back to the previous question, aside from what the ladies already said, right? One of the things for me that I felt was important that helped me when I didn't feel as confident is mentorship. Sometimes we forget how important it is to have other people that inspire us and we look up to. And I was intentional about putting myself in those spaces, surrounding myself around those women, right? And watching them, watching what they do. Even in my Mary Kay business, right? I don't know if you ladies know, but there is directors. My director drives a pink Cadillac that is paid for by the company. And although I don't have that, being around a woman that has those leadership skills and has achieved that helps me. It motivates me, inspires me. I watch her. I watch what she does, how she handles herself, how she handles the room, right? And that has helped me. So it is also important that when you don't feel as confident, that you prepare yourself in that way, where you have that mentorship and, seasoned women, as I love to call you guys, have a lot of wisdom, have a lot of knowledge, experiences that you can pour into the younger generation. Hand down that torch, pass the baton, but do that with that mentorship, with that guidance, and that was important for me to help me get here.
Thank you. No questions?
I have one. So, just to piggyback off
of what you just said. Have any of you experienced where someone has come back to you and says, thank you for your help, thank you for your leadership, this is what I'm doing now because of you?
Well, I tend to always have people which makes me feel good and just pushes me more. You know, that come to me and say about they enjoyed the class or the information I gave them. And I like to have fun with giving out my knowledge also too, so we play games and stuff. But yes, as far as health, because we know that it is needed, you know, good health throughout years, all your life. You know, this is something that we will need to be able to live a good life. You know, so I've had quite a few people come to me and say, I inspired them, and even some of the younger ones to want to become a nurse.
I've had the same situation also in my field as a court reporter. There was a data entry clerk in the court system, which is kind of entry level, just getting into the court system. You have a lot of avenues to move up, and she was very interested in what I did. I didn't know her. One day she just came up to me and she says to me, I watch you every day, come into work, and watch how you conduct yourself. She says to me, I want to get into court reporting. So I put her in touch with the right people, and now she's one of my co-workers. She works with us, and she always says to me, if it wasn't for Sheila, I wouldn't be here, because the real time going through schooling, which is a lot. I was always encouraging her. There was a point that she wanted to drop out, and I would always talk to her. She would text me, and I kind of just pushed her to go along, because I said to her, the prize at the end is going to be so worth it. I was like, this is the hard part, I promise you. And now, every time she sees me or she sees someone else and she introduces me, she says, it's because of Sheila that I'm here. It's because of Sheila. So people are watching you, because I never knew her. She came to me. So she was watching me every day, seeing what I did and how I conducted myself, which drew her to me. So I say that to say, people are watching. And you can either have a positive effect on them or a negative effect. So of course, as women, we want to have a positive effect on other young ladies so they can get to where we are.
And quickly I'll add, yes, I've had it both in the area of my physical fitness and in profession. I started in running groups, so everyone, I don't know if you know, but my small business is Fun and Fitness with Shelley. So I originally started with people in the walk-run group. So we would walk or we would run 5K. So a lot of people didn't think they wanted to run, but they never thought they could actually be able to run. Kind of started with me. We did some 5K. Donna was one. Donna did the Percy 7.
All right.
So those people who moved on through 5Ks are now running marathons. People who thought, and we're talking older women who didn't think they could do it, but were able to do that. And one of them was just actually awarded a Change Maker award by New York Road Runners. So she's now coaching other people to be successful. And then youth work, it's the same thing.
So, for me, and I want you to understand a little bit. So, I was born and raised in Monroe Housing Projects, you know, went to George High School. Okay, so the door. Never know, right? And, you know, and when I went away to college, I was 17. And, I was quiet. I was very quiet. I was very shy. But my way of like doing things was to help people, to get involved. I had to find my niche. I had to find out who I was. Because, you know, it's a thing like, this might sound strange, but it's real. We are all born human beings, right? So our job is to try to be the best being that we could be. Yeah. And the things that happen in our life create our personality. It creates who you are. You're not just born here, then today you become this particular person. Your surroundings create your personality. Now, when those things happen, it determines whether you're going to be take that and make it hinder you. Like, unfortunately, if you've been told this is going to happen to you, this is you're going to take that and empower it, right? So my thing is that I've had, and not like I said, to you know, say who I am. This is not a show up thing. I've had so many people thank me, and I'm so
us, by the way.
know, when I would help my friend in the playground and help this person, I needed to find who I was because I was so shy. So for me to make myself into who I was going to be was to help people. And I've been doing that all my life, and I'm gonna continue to do that as long as I can. And whether it's women, whether it's young girls, young boys, whether it's seniors, I don't care who it is, from this day until I go on to glory, my job is to continue to help as many people as possible.
Yes, and to piggyback on what she just said, I love to help too, so that's definitely important. And in doing that, currently I have a staff member that I met while I was doing a session at the library, and I wasn't in leadership at the time, but I seen some potential in her, and I asked her if she needed or was interested in a job. Fast forward 3 years later, she never worked. She sent me her resume the next day, and she is now our social media and communications person, right, for our organization. She's still in school, but she's definitely someone that says that without me, right, she wouldn't have had this opportunity. But that's not, you know, that's not nothing, right? But minimally, like, I don't like to gatekeep. I like to share information, and that's what I consider a leader, is just sharing resources, helping people, showing up. Right, yes, and just sharing opportunities. And so I think that I've helped many people in that way, even on social media, right? We underestimate the power we have on social media. Sometimes I post something and they're like, oh, thank you. I just, you know, I went to this event, or I got this information, or I needed this. So just, you know, being mindful that we have the power to just help and in our own way, and not losing sight of that. So, and all those thank yous are gonna come.
And I just want to say one other thing, very important. Self-love, self-care.
Yes.
Self-love, self-care. You have to care for yourself. You have to love on yourself. I don't care if you take yourself out to eat. I don't care if you go get a little massage. I don't care if you go see the movie. I don't care if you're in the house and it's just something self-love, self-care. Has to be your priority.
Which brings us to my next question. You guys are good. I'm going on Japanese. How do you balance, as a leader, but woman leader, how do you balance personal and professional?
Honestly, I'm still trying to master that, because last year I experienced horrible burnout. I was utterly burnt out. I was so sleep deprived. And the sad thing is, I'm so good at it, I still managed to finish everything, even while still being burnt out. But this year, one of my New Year's resolutions was to be more intentional and to really get a schedule, try to stick to it. And I'm pretty good with that. I'm pretty disciplined, but I try. Like, I say no if I can say no, but if I can do it without straining myself, I do things. I just take time for myself, even if it is something that gives me, even if it is just me sitting down and watching my favorite show for an hour, because I'm always doing something and I don't always give myself enough time for me. But I still manage to get everything done and still do things for myself, but still be burnt out sometimes. It's crazy. It's funny, but yes, I say no when I can't do something, and if I can do something and do it well, but I'm not going to do something where I can't fully do it well, then I will do it. But I take time for myself, like you said, if I can schedule a massage, I love massages, I do that. I like walks in the park, I like just doing nothing and not having to think. And sometimes I like just going to a Zumba class and not having to teach and just being a student. It's sometimes nice too. But yes.
Well, I take time for myself all the time. My family is like saying, where is she? Because I love to travel.
I love that for you, Kim.
I love to travel. I love to actually look and see what kind of classes are being offered, free classes, you know, or free shows. So I'm like, okay, there's a time to work, and yes, there's a time for me. And if I don't take care of me, I can't do anything. Okay.
That's true.
So most definitely, sometimes my family is like, well, oh, okay, her birthday is coming up. You better find out where she's going. She ain't Go on. Yes, so basically traveling, I love to travel and I love to meet new people, so I am not afraid to go and even to eat out on my own or go see a movie on my own. I have some of my friends say to me, you always come, you come in to support me? Because I love to support other people in their professions. You know, and they're like, you come by yourself? Yeah, but there's nobody to go. So I'm here, you know? So yes.
I'm working on that. I'm gonna be very honest. It's a challenge. I have a lot going on. I've added some things to my plate that I probably didn't need to, but that's just the personality that I have. But I find that Sundays work for me. And sometimes it's not anything big, right? It might not be a massage. It may not be, going to a movie and sitting for a couple of days. But every Sunday, I give myself 2 hours to do whatever I want. I'm not doing anything around the house. I'm not doing anything for anyone. I'm not talking on the phone. It's whatever I want to do for 2 hours. And it doesn't seem like a whole bunch of time. But for what I have going on, it's a lot for me. And then sometimes when, you have a partner or you're married, that adds to the things you have to do, right? Because you have to find time for them. Yes. Fortunately, I have a husband who's very understanding, and he gets that I am that person that everybody calls and I'm gonna do everything, but at the same time, we have to have quality time for him also. Yes. So in between all of that, I just find Sunday for 2 hours works for me. I am a girly girl, so I do go get my nails done and my hair done. So that's part of my self-care as well. It may not be a big deal to some people, but for me, that's like taking care of me.
Yes.
So it's challenging as women to take care of yourself, but you just need that little window that's just for you. Read a book, close the door. If you gotta go in the bathroom and lock the door, because the kids won't come in and no one to bother you, it's important that we all take that time for ourselves to just have a moment and to breathe, because we do a lot.
I want to add, for me, it's cycling. That's been my new thing. When the weather's nice, just go on a bike and just go for a ride. Find a new path in the city to just ride. And when I can't, I'm a park person. I will come sit in the park. On a park bench, then Portland Park, Central Park, just to sit and not talk to anybody. Not to be on the phone, but just to sit and talk. So that's me. What I want to add to this conversation too is, for women, like Ashley was saying, we burn out. We're doing everything for everyone else. We also need to look at taking care of ourselves mentally, and that if we need someone to talk to, and you don't have a friend, you don't have a family, it's okay to get a therapist.
Yes.
It's okay to seek outside help. A lot of times in our community, it's like, oh, we got crazy Uncle Joe. But maybe if Uncle Joe spoke to someone, he wouldn't be considered crazy. Or we think we have to do everything by ourselves, and we have no one to talk to. We can't share. Sometimes you need that outside voice to talk to. Because they can help you work through something that maybe a family member can't because you don't want to share. So when you think about self-care, think about maybe you might need to talk to someone else, and it's okay. Okay, even if you need medication for a little while, it's okay. There's no shame in it, because you would tell someone else to do it. So also be comfortable doing it yourself.
So I would say, first of all, I'm a Virgo. Do we have any Virgos here? But I am like organized. I consider myself to be organized, and part of creating that balance, right, between business, professional, your personal life, is organizing yourself. Having some type of agenda, a calendar. I didn't understand the importance of a planner, of a calendar, of booking things in, and it's a real thing. Like, we are super busy, we're moms, we're wives, we entrepreneurs, we do everything, and we can lose sight of the important things that we have to do, burn out. Yep. And I've found that having a calendar and blocking out specific times for things that I know I need to do, literally, that I know I need to do. If I'm attending church on Sundays, that is blocked off. If I have my meetings Monday nights, that is blocked off. Things like that has helped me keep that balance. but it is also important to include self-care. I'm a self-care girly, as I mentioned. I am a Mary Kay beauty consultant, so I practice self-care every day. I have a skincare routine, and I don't like to pop out. I'm not a makeup person, but I like to, just look presentable, and I think that helps with confidence, right? That helps you, just show up. And also, my spiritual life is important to me. Like, I don't wanna, tap too much into that, but get too deep into that, but when I feel out of whack, I pray. I ask God to guide me, and and that's why I pretty much try to incorporate into my daily routine is, aside from knowing everything that I gotta do, I ask for Him to guide me and to just allow me to take on the day. So that also helps me keeping my spirituality aligned every day.
Well, I kind of, mentioned the self-love, self-care, but even for myself and saying it, my daughter has to remind me to self-love and self-care because I'm all over the place. If Mom, what are you doing now? Oh my God, sit down somewhere. I'm like, okay. And then she goes, you got ADD. You can't sit back. But the thing about it is because I have, been in situations where I'm doing too much and I got sick. Just got sick because I wasn't paying attention. Like, you're doing this, you're doing that. And then my daughter goes, oh, okay. What happened to self-care? And self-care, like I said, it doesn't have to be a monetary thing. It just has to be a thing. And whatever that thing is what you create for yourself. Self-care can be, like you say, whether you're getting your hair done while you're watching Lifetime on TV. Load your door, because I can watch Lifetime and my husband be like, not again. Yes, I'm watching Mary J. Blige or somebody. Okay? So, I have to have my time like that. But then, of course, I like self-care. And it doesn't have to be, self-care could be me with my friends. Self-care is me. I have one granddaughter, her name is Meadow, like the field, and me and her are going to have a tea party. She'll come over, we have tea, none of this, none of that, but it's self-care because it's making me feel good at that time as a grandmother, and that's free, So self-care is just about taking care of you. You can go in the bathroom and put some blush on. You can just go and just, walk the street. Just go and take care of something for yourself because the self-love and self-care comes together. You can't do one without the other. Some people say I can self-love on myself and I'm good. But self-love is self-care. So we just got to figure out what makes us feel good, whatever it is.
Audience, one word. What do you do for self-care?
Music.
Anything else?
Travel.
Yes.
Being here today.
Meditation.
Yes.
Anything else?
Sleep.
Workout. Okay. Sleep.
Yes, sleep.
Sleep. I didn't hear that.
Sleep, right?
Burning candles.
I have one of those masks that I can listen with that has headphones in it that I sleep with and it plays white noise and stuff. I feel like I look like a bear. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it.
All right, so just a little quick moment. Audience, stand up if you've ever had to overcome a challenge to pursue your goals. Stand up if you've ever had to overcome a challenge to pursue your goals. right, so I want you guys to look around the room. All right? This is what leadership looks like. Resilience, strength. All right? You may have to see this. Thank you. All right. Next question. Why is it important to mentor and encourage?
Well, we can't do everything alone, for one. That's, again, how you have experienced burnout. But in order to keep everything moving, and the cycle continuing on, you need to mentor. For those who may not know, and because I heard, that's how I found out about Orisha, so. Yeah, in order for things to run smoothly and for things to continue on, you need to have a mentor. And you don't know everything, so you go to people who do know things. If you want to learn something new, you gotta find the people that already know, so you can learn what they know and apply it to what you're working on. And then you continue the cycle so that it grows. And if not, we don't, as a group of people, we don't grow without the continuance of mentoring.
Thank you, Ashley. Next.
I feel like we have to mentor other women to keep our space. And we don't mentor other women to continue to encourage them to have a voice and that they have a place everywhere, then we're closing the women out. You know, we have to keep the work going to keep the spaces open for the young women coming out. So it's important for us to mentor because we learn from someone. So you have to pay that back and keep it going. And hopefully they'll become a mentor and they'll teach someone because I had a mentor, which was one of my high school teachers. And if it wasn't for her, I invited her today, but she couldn't make it. But if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be where I am now. She taught me as a young girl in high school to be a leader. I don't know what it was about me. She took it upon herself to sing me out and to teach me a lot of things on this side. And because of her, I am where I am today. She taught me to speak up. She taught me how to dress when you go into a place, how to dress when you go to a business meeting. Because of her, I learned a lot of those things, and I like to pay them forward. Even now at my job, working there for how many years, we have young girls who come onto the job, and I try to guide them in a nice way, in a soft way, to let them know this is the way that it's probably preferable to do. People will take you more seriously if you do this, if you do that, because it's important. Someone did it for me. So
I guess you're lucky to be in the right place with the right people.
it definitely was a blessing. It definitely was a blessing. Yep.
I touched on mentorship earlier and the importance of that, so I am truly grateful for the mentors that I've had because like Sheila just said, they saw something in me too, and I've had that, like in mostly every space I go into, there's always been that, and I've been very intentional with trying to be that now, right, for others, and mentor them, and just, pour into them however I can. But I want to touch on collaboration because part of the community work and the community work that I do, it has been important to build partnerships. It has been important to collaborate, right, with amazing partners. Like I said earlier, Orisha Wholeness is one of my partners here in this community. I'm super grateful for the work that they do, but like Ashley said, we cannot do everything alone. We all have our own expertise, our own, ways that we can support, and together we can make a bigger difference and impact more people. And so building a coalition of community partners, I really see how impactful it could be versus if it was just me or my organization, right? So collaborating is super important because we all have different strengths, different expertise, different skills that we can bring to the table and collaboratively impact the community that we serve, the people that we serve, our families, friends, and so on.
So I've been probably, my mother and father, I just would say, was because of people who meant to me. I was fortunate enough, and even living in the projects, was fortunate enough to have my mother and father in the same house for 54 years up until my father's death. And so that was the first part of mentoring, just watching them and my aunts and uncles, mostly all of them been married forever, watching them just navigate through life. And then of course all the surroundings around me, from certain school teachers, community people. I'm gonna tell you something. Even, and I was quiet, I was very quiet. I don't know who this person became. I don't know what happened here, but when I went away to college, I became who I am. That's when I now became this other creation. I'm another person now. So going away to college and me being quiet and being to myself, I always tell people go away to college, even if you can stay on campus. But one of the points of this is that, so when I got there, that made me into another person, because now I had to get up on my own, go to school, no drugs, no sex. Whatever the situation was, I had to figure it out, or I could do all of that, but I had to figure it out on my own. But by being mentored by so many people in the community, on college, and at my job, that helped me to create who I am. So my thing is always to pay it forward. You gotta pay it forward. Because if people hadn't taught us, the seniors haven't taught me, if my grandmother who hadn't taught me, different people didn't teach me, how could I be who I am today? We can't go forward if you don't teach somebody and mentor somebody, just like the ladies were saying. You have to teach and mentor people so that the world can continue to grow in the way that you think it should be. Because somebody else could tell you something completely different.
For me, sometimes I have a little regret, because I never had that one mentor to put me at the beginning to help guide me through life. And I wonder if things would have turned out differently if I did. But what I did do is I found mentors in the different fields and the different things that I was interested in. Like when I was interested in youth work, I found someone who was very good at youth work. I went to the commissioner of DYCD, who mentored me for a little while in youth work. When I wanted to be a cyclist, I went to someone who was really good at cyclists, and I followed them. So sometimes it's not about someone identifying you, it's sometimes you going out and deciding, hey, I want to learn how to do this. And you find someone who's doing it well, and you ask them. Because they say mentor, sometimes you're like, oh my God, not a lifelong commitment. No, show me how to do this. And this is what I need. And if you do it that way, then it's easier to get mentors for things that you're interested in. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And it's in terms of Orisha Wholeness, Jessica and the commissioner here has really helped elevate us. When we're talking about mentorship, here we are, a small little bit organization, but yet, starting with NIDC, we've had some great workshops here, People's Money Project, the Civics Engagement Workshop, and that was because of our partnership with NIDC. So we were able to bring that to the community. And then Commissioner, she's taken us under her wing. She brought us to Mount Vernon with her. All of the Dole Center classes that we have, results because of her. The paint and sip, which if you don't have a ticket for, we only have 14 left. As well as guiding us to things that we could be doing to make Orisha better. You know, Pascal and I, we're co-founders, but there's a lot we still don't know. And who do we go to? People who are in the field, who are collaborating with other organizations, who know where we can go with what we have and how we can build it further. And who do we go to? We go to.
And I want to say one more comment. You know, sometimes people think, you know, and this will be a little hard, but mentorship has to be someone who's a leader or someone who, and it could be and could not be, right? So when I was born and raised in the projects of my old housing, you know, at one time or another, there was hemorrhage, was very deep. And, you know, there was a lot of junkies, as you might say. And so it causes an illness and a sickness. But they was actually, some of them was actually my mentors. And the reason why was because they would tell us, because they was already into the game. They was already doing what they was doing. And they would say to us, while nodding, okay, we never saw with needles, nothing like that, never hurt nobody, never robbed nobody, but they would say to us, I bet I never see you like this. I bet I never see you touch no drugs. So you'd be surprised who can be a mentor. And I can name a couple of people who was junkies, as we might say, that type of thing, but who actually told us, I bet not see you doing this. So don't underestimate who your mentor could be. Just receive the message.
Well, I couldn't share with you. First of all, I was born and raised in Harlem. okay? And back in the times when I was coming up, we were families. Families looked out for families, the older people, you know, looked out for kids that weren't their kids, and you can speak to kids and they wouldn't come back at you in a rude manner. Okay, so I did have a lot of mentors, I did, and I found myself gravitating towards older people all the time that could teach me something. Okay, and as I grew, the same thing. I would go, like Shelley said, to them even if they didn't come to me. I would place myself around people that could mentor me. And to be a nurse, I had one mentor. I wanted to be a dentist first, okay? But I still wanted to be in the medical field because cleaning teeth is something for me, still is. Okay, but that's also part of health also. You know, still being a dentist and having clean teeth. But she spoke with me and told me like the times that I could work as opposed to the times I couldn't, like being a dentist as opposed to a nurse. So she told me the pros and the cons of being a single mom, that it would work out better for me. And I always liked to help people anyway. So again, I had said earlier in the conversation about you have to give back, okay? I truly believe in that. All that I have taken in, I have to give it back, okay? And see, the medical field will never go away. It will never go away. It will always be here. So
at this time, I'd like to recognize one of our leaders from Community Board 7, Carla Cabela.
Oh, so my name is Carla. I'm the district manager of Bronx Community Board 7. At Community Boards, we amplify the voices of community residents in all matters of life, public safety, quality of life issues, land use matters. We're there as a resource for everyone. People are always looking for information. We have a lot of data sets and things of that nature. And not my baby, but I'm also a This one is mine. But you know, we are the village to someone, so we're looking after him today, so that we can have a self-care day. So yes, we're here to help. I do have business cards if anybody would like one. And it's very nice to see you all.
How many?
Three, please. Thank you. So how's it going so far? Good, learning stuff? Okay.
All right, so we got one of the actually at a health fair, the Roger Financial University.
Thank you.
And so we take out the yeah.
Okay, can I go ahead?
Huh?
Can I go ahead?
Yes.
Oh, good. Thank you. So my name is Ifeyinwa Otamidi Moriako. So I'm a financial literacy educator. I'm on a mission to get 30 million families financially literate by the year 2030. We have free workshops in Zoom. Come to your church. We have a textbook, Saving Your Future, Basic Principles of Building a Financial Foundation. We have a workbook. We have it in English, we have it in Spanish. We have workshops every day of the week. Monday to Friday, 2 p.m., 8 p.m., 10 p.m. Get on Zoom, you'll see us. Monday to Friday, 9 p.m., Spanish. Saturday, 10 a.m., our own center, and there are more than 600 centers, US and Canada. We just finished our workshop. I just came from our Brooklyn office. I said I must be in this event because I know I'm going to see great women leaders here who are going to help us to spread this information. Many families are struggling financially, suffering because of lack of financial knowledge. So that's why I'm here.
And when I finish, I'll go back to the office because we are trying to spread that information everywhere. So, do you know that on Sunday we have workshops in French? 3 p.m. on Sunday, get on the Zoom, you'll see us there. So I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. So we have one last question for all of us. Does any audience member have a question? Okay. Do you ever feel shy?
Oh, yeah. You get surprised, yeah. It's funny, growing up, I was never shy. I was very outspoken, very talkative, and it got me in trouble all the time. And oh, I was a Catholic.
30 seconds.
Yes, okay. And now that I'm older, I think more, and I'm more reserved, and now sometimes when I have to be outgoing, it's a little hard for me. So when I teach classes, I kind of have that Sasha Fierce mentality. It's like a night and day type of thing. So yes.
And me, all the time. I'm an introvert. I know it's hard for you to believe, but I could be sitting in the back of the room and be fine. You know, but when Shelly's on. When I'm teaching cycling, Zumba, giving a presentation, I'm on. And it's just something you overcome. It's like, okay, you can be shy, but then when you need to step up, you step up.
And I find, I must say, a lot of times the youngest out of the family, like myself, is not the shy one. Because all the older ones are always talking over you or whatever, so you have to present yourself, you have to get out there, and that's what I always did, to be seen, to be heard. No, so I didn't have time to be shy. I didn't want to be seen.
Youngest don't listen.
See, so she knows.
Yes, youngest don't listen, so yes.
All right. What is one leadership myth women need to start with?
They probably hear you.
What is one leadership myth women need to start believing in?
That they need to be highly educated. Leadership comes at all levels. Just like the commissioner was saying, that's right. Her mentor were the people who didn't want her to do the bad things, right? They may have been looked down on in the community, but yet they had a message for her that she listened to and got her to where she needed to be. So it doesn't necessarily matter how many degrees you have, which it does help you, and being a leader absolutely helps, but that shouldn't be something that stops you from wanting to be in leadership, because everyone has a different way of leading, and there is a way that you can be a leader without all of that. And also another myth is that you have to be in a leadership role to be a leader. You don't have to be on a board or an officer or something like that to be a leader. You can be a leader just in how you act and what you do. Because like I said earlier, people are watching you. So you can lead just by your behavior, just by the way you conduct yourself, by the way that people see you, you can lead. People are always watching what we're doing. You know, and you can lead people in that way also.
I would like to say, so I'm amending everything she said, because it's about education or experience. She says it on both. And a leader could be someone in the grocery store. It doesn't make a difference who you are, where you are. But you know, there's this thing with women of all color and races, I don't care what it is. People have said this to me, and they didn't have to be anybody who's to be in the cloud, my cats, because I know they're silly. But the thing about, I was a manager here and worked with parks for many years and was a pool manager, all this other kind of stuff. But there's times when people have said to me, how did you get that job? Right? Who do you know? I'm going to be a little more specific. What you did and who you did it to. Right? And they're joking, but they're saying it. Right? And it's a horrible thing. It's a really bad discrimination against women because no one asked you, how did you get that job? And who you did, or whatever the situation. It's a myth. We should not beat up on each other just because because a woman gets promoted and maybe you did, then maybe they deserved it, maybe they didn't. But it does not mean that we gotta say who you did, what you did, or what you did something to.
Right.
We gotta stop that, because we beat each other down.
Another myth, was thinking that you have to do everything and you have to be perfect. I saw something on Instagram and it was a woman talking about a man breadwinner, or male breadwinner, and a woman breadwinner. It's like, they ask her, how do you do it all? And she's just like, she figures it out, she delegates, she asks for help because it's okay to do that. You ask a guy, how do you do it all? He doesn't, he passes it off to his wife. Realistically, if you think about it. So, just accept, like, being okay with delegating and knowing you don't have to do everything, you don't have to be perfect because it's not realistic. That's
One quick myth, and then there's a comment to that. That women are too emotional to be leaders.
Yes.
You know, that, oh, our feelings get hurt, oh, we cry. That's bull. You know, I mean, I'm sorry. It's okay to be empathetic. It's okay to want to root for the underdog. But you're still in that position to lead. So you're not going to let your time of the month determine how you're going to hire someone, right? Or your menopausal. So I think we need to be realistic. We go in there, and when we hear that crap or people saying that crap, we need to just not let it go. We need to adjust it and address it.
And then,
Oh, but I'm getting it, guys. I don't want to be too blunt, but you know, we hear it. We hear it all the time.
we have a comment from
And
YouTube.
yes. Oh, I'm not.
Yeah, so Lorraine B7628 says the myth is that they need to be a certain size or color to be in leadership.
Yes, thank you. Oh.
Size. People look at you with size, and even look at, of course, your face to see you look young. Okay, just like you stated, that they don't think that you can do it. That's enough.
And I can definitely talk to size. I am a Zumba instructor. I am a cyclist. I teach cycling. So newbies like walk in my class and I'm sitting there like, oh, hi, welcome. But then when I get on the bike and they leave like drenched in sweat, like, oh my God, it's like don't underestimate someone or go in with any preconceived notions based on appearance. That's why we have this whole DEI word now that's being dropped. People are looking at people and trying to determine what their qualifications are just by looking at them and not what they're doing and not what they're capable of doing.
Well, that's the saying, don't judge a book by its cover.
All right. Read a couple pages first.
I didn't know that one.
We're going to close our day. I'm asking our panel to complete this sentence. You have 10 seconds.
They hear you?
My message to the women in this room is 10 seconds. My message to the women in this room is
she's asking to complete.
Complete the sentence.
The panel, we're probably going to I can do first.
My message to the women in this room is
For me, the message would be to do you. Okay? Don't let anyone convince you that your best is not good enough. Do you? You want to lead? Lead. You like everyone here said, you don't have to have degrees. I know that's more than 10 seconds. You don't have to have degrees. You don't have to do this. If you want to do something, do it. Don't let somebody tell you you can't. Do you.
thank you.
Be confident. Be confident. Believe in yourself that you can do it.
Thank you, Pam.
Be encouraged, like I said, self-love, self-care, and just, enjoy your life. Life is life. Enjoy your life, whatever it might be.
I would say we are all leaders already, and it's important to just show up as the best version of yourself every day, push through, and just be the light in every space you encounter.
Use your voice. You have it for a reason. Don't ever think because you're a woman you don't have a voice. Share your thoughts and opinions with others, and most importantly, be kind.
No goal or dream is too big or too small. It's a goal, so go forward and be hungry.
Today we were reminded that leadership is not about titles. It's about courage, vision, supporting one another. Because I know sometimes in that space there's so much disagreement, especially like in the women's space, and that's one thing I love about us. So let's try to keep that going. Mentoring the next generation, and I just want to thank you guys for mentoring us and creating spaces where women thrive. Thank you all for being part of our panels. We do appreciate you taking the time out today to attend our first annual Women Empowerment Leadership Dialogue.
And that's important because access, right? It all depends on your access, but if you don't have access to it, or if you choose another path, that doesn't stop you from being a leader, just to have some letters after your name. So thank you for sharing. Someone else? Yes?
No matter what, use your voice, speak up, and let yourself be heard. And push yourself, even though you may be afraid, even though you may be lacking self-confidence. The most important thing is that you speak up and push yourself. They call it stepping outside of your comfort zone. Very important, and we're entitled to do that. In fact, it's very important that we do that.
Yes, yes, thank you. Someone else in the back? Go ahead.
Okay, what I meant is that you have to be the best version of yourself.
Yes, the best version of yourself. Nikki?
And what you said, don't let someone else's negativity define your future.
Yes. Always use it as a stepping stone. That's about it. Be confident. Yes.
Lorraine has another gem. She says, just do me and not to be afraid to step up or ask for help.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, Lorraine.
Anyone else? So with that, we want to thank you. We have other events going on. So we have information on the table. We have classes, our line dancing classes. We have dance fitness classes throughout the week. So please come. Our classes are free. We talk about building each other up, building our community up. What Orisha does is we do these classes for free. So please tell your friends, tell your family, if they just want to move and have a good time, that's what we're about. We also have a paint and sip event coming up. It's our fundraiser. It is next Saturday at the Dole Center.
And it was very nice. It was so much fun. I don't know what was in those sip cups, but
It was a lot of juice. It was bubbly juice. So yes, it is. Thank you. It is self-guided
So there's information on the back. Other than that, please come to our website, check us out. I see a lot of new faces here. Don't let this be the last time that we see you. We hope that this is the beginning of a great relationship. So we still have a few minutes, so let's take a picture and then network. This one? Okay. It's all good. All right, we're going this way. Okay, good. All right, how we take it? We're doing it this way. Which way we're doing it? Okay. All right, so we need everyone to share. All right, so we need everyone to share this one.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining, and we hope we see you at the next event.